Welcome back, everybody, to the Huddle,
where we talk about, and we have been talking about for 20 weeks, I guess kind of 20 weeks,
20
football.
episodes.
Yeah, 20 episodes. Yeah, and this will be the last time we talk about football on this season.
Yep, we're going to start a new season next week. When, of course, the new season of the NFL rolls around. Cannot wait for that. 8/20 this Thursday. Arrowhead Stadium at Jiha, however you pronounce it, field. We got Kansas City Chiefs facing off against the Detroit Lions. Cannot wait for that. But before we get to that, we still, of course, have a week before the season starts. So, of course, let's keep everybody interested, Elijah, because of all the followers we have,
Yeah, all two of them.
Yeah, me and you. All right, well, for today's playbook, in session 1, we're going to be talking about Swiss Army knives. They are positionless and quite meaningless players on the NFL field, but, they're fun to watch, so we talk about that. Session 2, we're going to do another game. This time it's going to be running backs with new teams, so either if they sign with them in the offseason or were drafted. We're going to be talking about final Super Bowl predictions. Obviously, we had our playoff predictions earlier. It was probably, episode 12 or whatever. But these are our final predictions for the season. And last but not least, the Steel Curtain Show. Last one of season 1.
Here we go.
But before we get to that, Elijah, it's time for the NFL news of the week.
Feud in New York / New Jersey. Aaron Rodgers versus Jihad Ward. Just some bickering going on. Randall Cobb had a cheap hit on one of the Giants players, and shown on Hard Knocks, Aaron Rodgers and Randall Cobb had laughed about it, and Jihad Ward wasn't very happy about it. And
I think the main reason is because the Giants player, the one safety, he did get a concussion because of the hit. I think every player or every teammate has a right, to defend her.
Yeah, and they probably should not have laughed about it, but just some back and forth going on with Aaron Rodgers and Jihad Ward. Aaron Rodgers is a drama queen, as we've mentioned plenty of times before on our show. And then next, Larry Fitzgerald. Turns out he is not retired. I had thought he had retired like 10 years ago, but he's not retired. He said that, so...
Yeah, I was looking at our notes here, and I was thinking, what does Elijah mean by that? I'm like, of course he's not retired. I knew he was still a free agent. It was just kind of like...
Yeah, he hasn't been around. He stepped away for a little bit. Or he wasn't, again, technically retired, but I just kind of figured that since he hasn't been around, he was retired. But he did mention that he is not. So if you were wondering, he's not. And finally, Rudolph has retired. Not Mason Rudolph, though, unfortunately. Kyle Rudolph, tight end. He played for the Vikings. He played for the Giants, too, I believe.
Yeah, at the end of his career.
Yep. 2-time Pro Bowler. Great. He was a good player, and it'll be sad to see him gone, but, it was probably his time anyway. So.
He had that, I remember, I think it was him, had that winning touchdown catch in overtime of that Saints-Vikings playoff game a couple years ago, which was very questionable. There was a lot of questionable calls in that game. But I remember thinking Drew Brees was winning that Super Bowl that year, and Kyle Rudolph ruined all those chances. But last part for our NFL news of the week, Travis Kelce on their podcast, New Heights, and just in a couple of interviews, he's pleading, Chris Jones, come back, we need you badly. You're honestly one of the best, if not the best, defensive tackle in the league.
Yeah,
come back, please.
Yeah.
So definitely interested to see how Kansas City and Jones react to this, and interested to see how this
turns out
contract situation turns out. Right?
Yeah. So
all right, well, let's get on with it. Session 1 of episode 20.
Swiss Army knives. As we mentioned before, they're just players who have multiple positions. They're also called positionless players, and they're kind of just dumb, but they're still kind of cool to watch. Some examples. I mean, the main Swiss Army knife in probably history, Taysom Hill. Dude can play quarterback, receiver, defense. He can do everything.
Tight end, running back.
Exactly. Special teams.
Guard, fullback, coach, offensive coordinator.
Okay. Maybe you're going to go that far.
Water boy.
Okay, he probably was at one point.
Physician's assistant.
Okay, yes. Another example, if you're done.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm gonna make this list as long as your stupid 18 quarterback rookie list.
Okay, I made them short the last two.
I bet you never even heard of, but you're gonna still rank them.
Okay, whatever. Deebo Samuel is another guy. They turned him into a running back. He was pretty cool to watch too. Connor Hayward. He is like a fullback, running back, receiver, tight end guy for the Steelers. We saw him in preseason. Looks pretty good. And then finally, Malik Cunningham. He did get cut, but he started in camp as a wide receiver, but he did play quarterback. And that's all my examples. But my first question is, Levi, who's your favorite positionless player? In history, anybody.
In history?
Or anybody. I mean, it could be recent, it doesn't matter, but like, for now.
I don't know if you're considering this, positionless with, prime time, Dion.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I would consider that. Yeah, definitely.
Real quick before, heck, we're talking about Deion Sanders, and I know we talk about the NFL, but we're going to talk about college football a little bit too, because, I'm a Pitt and LSU guy, and Elijah's a Mountaineer fan.
Hey, yeah, we lost. I also like Penn State. Is that okay?
No, you can't no, except I like two colleges too anyway. So, anyways, Deion Sanders has a player on that team that he brought with him from Jackson State. His name's Travis Hunter.
Yep.
Plays receiver and cornerback. He had one of the wildest interceptions you'll ever see in your life and put up 120 receiving yards in a D1 college game against the runners-up of last year, TCU.
Yeah.
That doesn't just happen.
Yeah.
So, heck, once this guy gets to the league, he could be good, but I bet you by next year they're gonna slim down him, slim down the amount of playing time he plays on either side of the ball.
Right, and I think talking about Deion Sanders, he may become an NFL coach in the future.
I would not be surprised.
Colorado.
His son is starting. It feels like a high school team.
Yeah,
you bring he brought 9 guys with him from Jackson State.
Yeah. And
his son is a starting quarterback of a D1 school.
And would he have 500 passing yards last?
510 passing yards.
Yeah.
I think 4 or 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't be surprised if Deion went on to coach the Falcons or something like that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And then, drafts his own son.
Yeah. I mean,
it'd be weird, but it'd be cool.
Hey, Doug Peterson got his son and cut him, so
that's true. You have to cut your own son. Anyways.
So would you say Deion Sanders is your favorite position?
I would say Deion. Obviously I didn't really grow up watching him. I wasn't even born. Yeah. But just watching, his highlights, he was awesome.
Yeah.
Phenomenal player.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have to say maybe just Taysom Hill for just the memes.
I think Taysom Hill was I have never seen a player kind of like who are you going to put in as quarterback who can actually throw touchdowns? A guy who can catch touchdowns, who can run for 10 plus yards and get a touchdown off of it, who can make a tackle, who can return.
You're not going to get it. Actually started him as quarterback, and then the next season he was a tight end.
Yeah, I mean he's just it's a really interesting player, and he also used to be a Packer. I just want to throw that out. But
he was.
Yeah, I think he either got drafted or was just a undrafted free agent to the
Packers. Have no idea.
But I think he got hurt too, so he didn't really play that much. But
makes sense why he sucks now.
Shut up. He's the best positionless player in the NFL. Okay, and then my second question, do you think teams will start having more position-changing players? Will they make an effort to find players in the draft or, just in free agency and change them around like Taysom Hill? Because obviously the Saints saw something in Taysom Hill when they got him, and they made him into this Swiss Army knife. So do you think more teams are going to start doing stuff like this?
I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I feel like the NFL is still stuck in too much of this is how football is and this is how it's going to be done until, the end of the earth. Running backs are underappreciated and quarterbacks are demigods or whatever,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I would love to see it. And I do think if Deion Sanders did end up becoming an NFL coach, he would be the guy to really kind of drive it into the league.
Sure.
I feel like the NFL seems younger than ever before. It seems more competitive. It seems like more athleticism, especially with some of the technology we have now. But I would love to see a younger side of the game, a more fun side of the game into the NFL.
Yeah, okay.
So we can make it the fun league, not the no fun league.
Yeah, exactly. And then also, this is kind of a question that goes along with it. Not really as much as a Swiss Army knife question, but will teams start making like a scrambling QB a position? So this is what I'm saying. So Lamar Jackson, when he was a rookie, they would bring him in every once in a while just to either run the ball or pass the ball when Joe Flacco was obviously the starter. And they do that now, Malik Willis with Ryan Tannehill. Well, teams start.
I want to say yes.
Okay, yeah.
But I mean, I'm a teenager and I recognize this. Obviously, an NFL coach would be able to do that. Whenever you see a quarterback who's not the starting quarterback in the game, just off a random play, not barring an injury or anything, obviously you're thinking, oh, they got something up their sleeve. It's going to be an RPO. It's going to be a quarterback run, some trick play, Philly special, something crazy like that. So, yes, I would love to see more of this. I would like to see, obviously, guys like Malik Willis or, I don't know, Josh Dobbs, or who, he might even be the starter down in Arizona. But I think it's too predictable for NFL coaches and even just defenders. And to be honest, I feel like whenever you see a guy that's not the quarterback in the game, you're going to do everything in your power just to hit him over.
Sure, yeah.
It's like whenever you see like the small kid on the field, you just want to beat him up,
Wow, okay. But also, I think
saying you're going to take advantage of it.
Yeah, and also I think a lot of these quarterbacks nowadays are just scrambling quarterbacks because, like, you can see Josh Allen has a strong arm, but he's also a runner. Same with Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Kenny Pickett,
Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of these quarterbacks,
quarterback in the league.
Well, okay, but a lot of these guys are fast anyway, and they can do the scrambling without it. So it was more kind of like players like Tom Brady or, again, Joe Flacco, Ryan Tannehill. They're not running most of the time.
No.
They're mostly going to pass. They will run every once in a while if they're about to get hit.
I mean, the Steelers, we did that once in like a blue moon. When we still have Josh Dobbs.
Yeah.
I mean, like once in that blue moon.
Yeah, and I think that was when Ben was actually hurt, and we brought in Rudolph, and then we had Dobbs just
even when Ben was in. I think we did it like for a preseason.
Okay, yeah, maybe. But
to put it in perspective for you, we brought Josh Dobbs in for first team reps in a real game, as much as Matt Canada wanted us to throw the ball downfield last year.
And if you don't know, that was very rare. It was usually just in the fourth quarter when we're down by
35 points. Exactly. But, we always come back.
All right. Let's move on to session 2. I'll let you take over this, Levi.
Yeah. So just running backs with new teams. Obviously. So, people like Rashad Penny, Dalvin Cook, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, any of these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just got a couple names here. We're gonna throw them in here. Let's have some fun with it, all right?
All right.
So, Elijah, your first player. If this one sucks, man. You get Rashad Penny.
Okay, wow.
Former Seattle Seahawks running back, and now new Philadelphia Eagles running back.
Okay.
Okay, and now, Elijah, your random number is 112.
Okay.
So how, I don't know, correlate Rashad Penny and 112. What stat is he going to be over or under 112 for blank in the first week of the NFL?
In the first week, okay. I mean, I'm going to say definitely under, what was it, 120?
112.
Oh, 112. Definitely under 112 rushing yards the first week because he's not going to get it. They have DeAndre Swift, so they'll definitely be subbing both of them in and out. So, and I think he's probably the second best running back anyway on his team. So, I don't.
Swift, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it will be under 112 yards. Probably less than, I'm going to say, 30 yards for him.
Okay. I mean, that's respectable. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I would not be surprised if Jalen Hurts has more rushing yards than him.
Yeah. He did a lot more running than Miles Sanders did last couple years.
Well, I just did the spinner for me, and I get debatably a guy who like fantasy experts were saying take in the first round, even though he's a rookie. It's Bijan Robinson, and the number that correlates with him is 89. Of course, we're talking about running back, so let's just be generic. Let's say rushing yards here again. 89 rushing yards for Bijan Robinson. I want to say yes, but I feel like he's gonna have like an interesting week. I would not. I'm feeling like he's gonna break off like a 50-yard touchdown, but at the same time, I feel like he's not gonna get anywhere over 64 yards rushing.
All right.
And I hate saying that
because that's your boy right there, right?
I love Bijan. There's just something about he's just such a nice guy. Like he's so calm. He's like, for a man of his size and like could run you over.
Yeah,
he's just a great guy.
I mean, on draft night, whenever he took over the mic, it was hilarious. But
yeah. All right, but yes, I'm sorry, Bijan. I'm gonna say under for this one, under 89 rush yards for Bijan Robinson in the first week of the NFL. I don't like saying it, but I think
it's realistic.
Yeah, we'll just have to find out. He's a rookie. Yep. First game. See how he does. See here, Elijah, your next player. Do a couple more of these. You get New Carolina Panther running back.
Oh,
Miles Sanders. And your number, you get all the big ones, dude. 114.
Okay. I'm gonna try to be creative here. Miles Sanders. He will.
The obvious one.
I mean, I want to be creative here, and I just want to. I don't know.
Scrimmage yards.
I'm gonna say he will have under 114 yards due to penalties.
Shut up.
I mean, what am I wrong?
Unless you're defense facing Tom Brady, yes. I think most people would have under 114 yards of penalties.
I wanted to be creative.
I hate you. All right, I guess that works. All right. I get Devin Singletary.
Who? I'm just kidding. Okay.
My least favorite running back.
What's he on? What team's he on nowadays?
He's a Texan now.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Ooh.
My random number is 36. Okay. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to go over for this one, but it's not rushing yards.
Okay.
It's receiving yards.
Oh.
I think not Bijan. I think Devin Singletary go over 36 yards receiving. I don't think CJ Stroud has many options, and he does not have an offensive line. So whenever you don't have a lot of options downfield, and you don't have much of an offensive line.
Wait, but he's got Kendrick Green though, so.
Oh yeah, quick NFL news of the week. We traded away Dotson and Kendrick Green. Whatever. Get the heck out of here. We don't want you, Kendrick Green. You sucked.
Yeah.
But no, I'm saying 36 yards receiving because just dump it off to him in the flat. If he does, there's this wheel route, swings out to the left or the right. I feel like Devin Singletary, he's elusive, and I feel like he could easily rack up 36 or over 36 yards receiving this week.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a good one.
We'll do like two more each. Move on with the episode. Elijah, your player is another running back sensation who got cut this offseason. Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh.
New running back for the New England Patriots. You get 35.
All right.
35 cheeseburgers eaten.
I was just going to say that. No, I was going to say that.
I had to beat you to it.
Oh man, okay.
Dude, we have you have the same eyes. We should just start a podcast.
Exactly, yeah. We'll call it the Huddle. I'm gonna say you said 35 was the number.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say he will have over 35 comments about how bad he did on social media for week 1.
What? I think stats, dude. You're just coming up with the most random crap.
I want to be creative. There you go. That's my answer.
This might be worse than your Marvel character, the NFL player comparisons.
Oh my gosh. Hey, I thought it was creative. That's all I want.
It was creative. I feel like he really does post.
You stole my cheeseburger one, so.
Were you actually going to use cheeseburgers?
I was gonna use food in general, basically.
Okay, but it just makes me look more funny because I said it.
Yeah. Well, you didn't give me a second to say it. I would have. You just a split second ahead of me.
Just better than you. Face it.
Just move on already.
All right, Jahmyr Gibbs. I get him. I only got two more running backs on this list, so do you just want to finish it off?
Sure, why not?
Whatever. If you're bored, you can skip through the episode. We don't really care.
Okay. Yeah.
I get 70. Jahmyr Gibbs in 70.
Oh, interesting.
Jahmyr Gibbs will have at least 7.0 points to his name.
Okay. There you go.
Now, I said 7 points. It's not 6.0.
Yeah, wait.
So Jahmyr Gibbs will have we'll have over 2 touchdowns in week 1 of the NFL season.
Well, you could do 2-point conversions though, so
that's true.
All right, that's a good one.
Sure. Okay, we got 2 names left that I could think of put on the list. Your man, Seattle Seahawks running back Zach Charbonnet.
Ew. Okay.
What's that supposed to mean?
Hey, just go ahead.
All right, your number is 110.
Okay. I think he will have under negative 110 yards. Yep.
I see.
Yep.
Sure, dude. Whatever. You're just jealous because your running back room sucks.
Oh, my running back group is way better than yours.
K9, Zach Charbonnet.
Zach Charbonnet hasn't even done anything. We have A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. So, I mean...
Yeah, it's just my biased opinion because, honestly...
Yeah, honestly,
better. Now, I think we can agree on one thing. The best Packers and Seahawks running back ever. It's Eddie Lacy.
Yep, Eddie Lacy.
And my gosh, he ate more than 35 cheeseburgers. All right.
Yes, he did.
And the last man on this list, I don't even know why I just spun it. Jamal Williams.
Oh, okay.
For the Saints. And I get 147. What the heck? I was looking for like a lower number, so I could say like 5 broken tackles. Or whatever. I
would have said he would have more than 14.7 touchdowns because he's a touchdown machine.
That's true, but 14.7 seems a little much. That's why I put the minimum number as 20. So
there you go. You're an idiot.
All right. Well, I'll generate another number, and I've been up in the hundreds the past 3 times. No, this thing is broken. Every time you do it, it goes down.
And that's it for this game, everybody.
What is wrong with this? Jamal Williams, he's going to have a good game for the Saints.
Okay, there you go.
There we go. All right.
That's it for that session. And probably ever.
That was a failed game idea. Look, I'm admitting I was wrong.
Yeah, you had a good idea for the superhero one. This one was a little messy, but
we're just trying to keep the show interesting, people. Sorry.
It's our last episode. Forgive us.
All right, moving on. Session 3, final Super Bowl predictions. Elijah, what's your take?
So my safe prediction would just be the Chiefs and 49ers. I think that's what I had
usually.
But if I'm doing like a bold prediction, I'm going Steelers and Falcons. I really liked the Steelers. I think they look amazing.
You just went from an almost definite Super Bowl, or which could be definite Super Bowl, to 2 teams that did not even make the playoffs last year.
I mean, okay, but I think that's why I said it's a bold prediction. The Steelers looked good in the preseason. I think Kenny Pickett is a changed quarterback now. I think he might be one of the better QBs.
But you cannot tell me the Falcons are getting through the Eagles, 49ers, or Vikings.
I can. I will. The Falcons are getting through all of them. They're going to be that team that just breaks out of nowhere, like like the Bengals were, or like the Eagles kind of were last year. But they're going to be that team. Desmond Ridder, I really like him. Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and their defense is pretty good. Jesse Bates and all that. Bijan Robinson. So I think they're going to be that team.
The Falcons might win the Super Bowl if it's being played in London, but other than that, no. The Falcons might not even make the playoffs. Elijah.
All right, but that's my bold prediction. I'm not going to judge your prediction, Levi, because I'm a nice person. So go ahead and tell me what you got.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so yeah, I would say safe option is the Chiefs. It sounds generic, but let's just come on, let's be realistic, Elijah. There's 32 NFL teams, and 31 of those NFL teams don't have Patrick Mahomes.
Wow, that is true.
So yes, I think it's a safe pick. But if you look back at our earlier episodes, I had the Bengals and the Eagles going to the Super Bowl.
That's because he's a Bengals fan.
I want to go with the Bengals. I know. I want to see Joe Burrow win a Super Bowl.
He won't ever.
Yeah, but Desmond Ridder is. Okay.
He'll win a Super Bowl like the LSU won their game the other night.
Oh wait.
Oh, they didn't. That's right. So they got smacked.
But what was the score of the WVU game, Elijah? Huh?
We played a good team. You guys did not.
Yeah, I was very disappointed in my boy Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
And the defense, heck, we couldn't tackle. It was awful. Anyways, gosh, dude. I know it's the end of the season, but we gotta stay focused.
Yeah, it's the last episode, but
this is what happens whenever your co-host tries to steal your spotlight.
What?
I think we should just get rid of Elijah and it'll just be the Huddle by Levi Jenkins.
Yeah. I'm the one who makes. I wrote this script, buddy. Except for your session 2, that was terrible.
This entire script was just useless ideas that we couldn't fit into any other show, so we just put it in this one.
Hey, they've all been good except for that session 2. So
anyway, other than me wanting the Bengals to win the Super Bowl or Eagles, I don't really care. I just want to see a good Super Bowl, not ruined by some dumb holding call. I would say Chiefs are a safe pick, but I want to see the Chargers. I think they're the only other team that could make it to the Super Bowl from the AFC. I feel like the Bills are maybe, if they really want to show the world that they're a real football team and not just good in the regular season. And the Dolphins are more of a maybe.
Okay, you think Brandon Staley is going to make it to the Super Bowl?
Well, that's where I feel like the Chargers good, but not Brandon Staley.
Okay, so not this year then.
Yeah. Once he gets fired, then maybe.
Yeah, in the middle of the season.
No, but they would have to get past the Chiefs probably in the division round. I just don't know. Unless the Chiefs did lose a stunning game, like an upset game earlier on, I feel like the Chargers,
Yeah, if they fire Brandon Staley and bring in Jeff Saturday in the mid-season.
Yeah, okay. And I think for the NFC, it's most likely going to be an Eagles and Niners rematch.
Yeah,
in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, I mean they're the best teams, obviously.
Right.
And I don't think they're getting any worse. So yeah, that's
all right.
Man. Yeah.
Last session of season 1, and of course, we ended every episode with it. Steel curtain session.
Here we go.
Steelers.
Here we go.
Pittsburgh's
going to the
Super Bowl against the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
See, all right, I got you. Derek Watt, Super Bowl MVP.
Definitely. Yep.
See, I'm coming around, Elijah.
Yeah, there you go. It only took a whole season, but that's our. Speaking of Derek Watt, kind of segueing into what I had this question. Are we happy with how our offseason went? Omar Khan did amazing, but are there players we should have kept that we let walk? Are there players we should cut still? Should we have drafted somebody else? Should we have not drafted, Broderick Jones or something? Just tell me what you think, Levi. How was our off season?
I'm gonna rate our off season 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Other than cutting Miles Jack
and Derek Watt, letting him go.
Yes, Derek Watt. And re-signing Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah. Okay.
Big question mark. But I think we had a stellar offseason.
Okay.
A lot of kudos to Omar Khan. Love what he's done with the team. It's just a different attitude. I think it's a different vibe going into this next season. And you don't understand how excited I've been to watch Kenny Pickett just go back at it this year.
Yeah.
And just I cannot wait to see George Pickens be a potential Pro Bowler too.
Yeah.
So definitely looking forward to this season. I think we did some good work on the offseason. I would say probably my favorite signing is Keanu Neal.
Oh,
I
really?
love that signing. And Patrick Peterson too.
Okay.
I was a little hesitant about it at first. And I also like the Isaac Samalu signing.
Yeah.
And I liked the Cole Holcomb signing.
Yeah. Okay.
And I like the Landon Roberts signing.
Okay. So you liked everything so far?
Yeah, most of it I did like. Yes.
Is there anybody that we drafted that, just looking at the training camp or preseason, that maybe we just should have let them go, or maybe somebody that we should have taken that we let go, that we had a chance to get?
Tanner Morgan. I think that was a waste of a pick.
Yeah, you're right.
And we could have drafted DTR, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a shame you see that much talent being wasted away in a Browns uniform.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. And there's a lot of that going on in Cleveland.
Down in Cleveland.
Yeah. But okay, so my opinion on our offseason, I think.
Oh, you remember you were asking me my
Yeah,
opinion.
no. Your opinion was useless. Just to start out, obviously Derek Watt. Okay, I know it's kind of like been a joke, but also I think he could have been really useful. And we just signed back. I don't know if he's on the starting roster. I think he's just training camp. But I think we could have had him on the team, because a main theme this year has been brothers on the team, right? Family. I think he was a waste of a let go. I think he was still valuable to our team, and we ended up signing a fullback after the draft. He didn't do anything. He obviously retired for whatever reason. I think we could have kept him. Going on to the defense, I think our weakest spots now are middle linebacker and strong safety. Mm-hmm. And I think that we could have kept Terrell Edmonds. I'm not saying he was a great safety, but he was consistently decent.
I can't say that I hated watching him.
Yeah, he was consistently decent. You know what I mean? There weren't really times.
Consistently decent.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He wasn't really bad.
Welcome to the Huddle, where we talk about football, and we are consistently decent.
What I'm saying is, I don't think getting Keanu Neal and KZ were an upgrade at all. I think they're great players.
No, but I feel like they're good bridge players.
Sure.
Keanu Neal, I love his tackling. He's a short tackler. He's an aggressive tackler.
Sure, but I think Edmonds is just the same as him. I would have gotten rid of
Edmonds is better in coverage. He could not tackle for the life of him.
Okay, but also, would you say KZ is great in coverage? So that's what I'm saying. I think we could have had Keanu Neal and we could have kept Terrell Edmonds, and we would have had the same productivity as we're probably going to have in the secondary at that safety.
But then if you keep Terrell Edmonds, then maybe that's not as much money that we're guaranteeing Alex Highsmith.
Yeah, true.
You might not want to stay with us for, however so long.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's one of the reasons we obviously didn't keep him. But going on from Terrell Edmonds, I think that could have led into us signing Tremaine Edmonds, linebacker. I like Holcomb, but I don't know if he's really going to be a long-term dude, and I would rather have a long-term great middle linebacker, and Landon Roberts obviously isn't going to be there for a while.
No.
So I would rather have a star linebacker who I know is good and who can be good.
And that's who I thought we were going to go after.
Exactly, yeah, and I think it would have been cool to have another brother.
At that point, that's almost as weird as Prime Time and his son.
Yeah, but I still think we could have gotten him. He was probably way more expensive than getting the two guys that we got already. But still, I think we could have done that. And then I wish we'd have kept Cam Sutton.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he's coming up to his prime spot now. I know last year he had a pretty decent season, and he was consistently decent. No, I'm joking. But I think he's going to get better, and he's playing for the Lions now, which is great for him. But Joey Porter, Cam Sutton, and I guess Patrick Peterson, if
you mean Levi Wallace.
Levi Wallace, and if we kept Patrick Peterson, if we would have signed him too, that would have been a great secondary. I don't think we really needed James Pierre that much. I kind of wish that we hadn't even wasted time with Kendrick Green anymore. I wish we would have just gotten rid of him. Although I do want to say he's really just had a hard time in Pittsburgh. We drafted him to be the center for Big Ben's last year, and it was just kind of like a bad situation. He didn't play center in college too much. He played right guard, and he wasn't very good at all anyway. But still, we should have just cut him, maybe traded him sooner when maybe teams
Yeah,
thought he
but
would have
I
been better.
can't say I'm mad because we got picks out of the deal.
True, yeah, and maybe if teams hadn't seen him this offseason, maybe they could have been like, okay, maybe he's going to be good, and we could have gotten more. But still, not bad with the offensive line. I like Allen Robinson. I wasn't a fan of it at first, but I do like that we got him. And our rest of the offense is pretty good. I think we should have kept Zach Gentry. He's just a locker room guy, really.
For the sole, I guess, for the sole reason of
grilling and chilling, definitely. That's the main reason. But still, I think he was probably just a good presence in the locker room too, and I still think he's a good tight end. And I'm surprised we even signed him to our practice squad because, again, he's a good tight end. He's not.
Yeah, when we keep 2 punters and then we cut man a day later, and then we sign this no-name fullback.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I think his name's Xander Horvath.
Yep. And I don't know why we had kept that punter anyway, but I would probably get rid of Presley Harvin pretty soon. But sure, he's all right.
Yeah, maybe he'll have a good season.
Yeah, and that's really just it. I think just improving our line, our middle linebackers and our safety with Tremaine Edmonds. I think that's really where I would have gone, and keeping Derek Watt, and because I think he's good with our special teams, as I mentioned before, and I think he was a good guy to have, just a veteran anyway. But
believe me, Elijah, I know you like Derek.
I do, yeah, and I wouldn't have signed Mason Rudolph. I get it, third string guy, but we don't really need him. And Mitch Trubisky, I'm fine with. I don't know that we needed to extend him, but I'm fine with him being a backup. I don't like Mitch Trubisky at all. He's a Bear, former Bear, and I hate the Bears, but I think he plays pretty similarly to Kenny Pickett, so I'm fine with it for now. That's basically just what I thought. And
did you want to break down the entire coaching staff too?
I think Matt Canada should be gone right now. In terms of our draft, I'm happy with it, other than Tanner Morgan, as I mentioned. But overall, not bad. Not a bad offseason at all. I would give it a 9 also. So yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for all the love and support of our 12 followers throughout our first season of the Huddle.
Yes.
We cannot wait for hopefully a YouTube transition.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for listening to it. We had a couple guests, including my dad, our friend Christian Brawler, and Sam
Jenkins.
Just the other night. Yeah. So we have a fun episode with 2 guests.
Yeah, and then
we're gonna bring on
Sam was
no, it's not going to be Sam. That's going to be coming up soon, hopefully within the first couple weeks of the new season. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. The end of the Huddle Season 1.
Get ready for
I am Levi Jenkins, along here with Elijah Keller.
Hey, yo.
We will see you next week after the first week of the NFL season.
Peace.
All right, well, the Chiefs. It sounds too generic, but let's be listen.
Wow, let's be listen. Okay.
Yeah.